I don't come again. I see that report we will show now about beggars when they catch for streets. And the people when they catch them now carry come. As they catch beggars. We catch people when they catch beggars today. We carry them come studio. Where they come tell us why did they catch beggars, where did they carry them they go, wetin be their work. Wetin the beggars they do na bad thing, and other things where their departments they do. Their department, a welfare department under social development secretariat. And there the welfare department dey. And the person who I carry come today na the acting director of welfare department. His name is SANI AMAR. Welcome.
Thank you.
This one, happy New Year with this one.
My bros, good morning, my fellow Nigerians.
What in one more talk about today, New Year with this? And one more, may you tell us the things when I do last year and the plans when I get for Nigerians this year. Because when we see una like this, the people they feel say the only thing they do now to they catch beggars for street. Every time they catch beggars for street. Why una choose to they catch these beggars? So some people feel say, some people they try to give small money to like support to the beggars.
Thank you. Well, the mission of FCT Social Services is to provide secondary social services and protect the right of social being of the vulnerable members of the society. When we say vulnerable members of the society, these are children that are being abused, used for begging, giving them after school, denying them the right to attain the basic education. Okay. These younger ladies that do tourism or the other choose to modify their body to make life, as they said in court, to make livelihood. The aged, women, mentally challenged, destitute, vagabonds, street beggars. These are some of the people that we do provide such social services. Removing them from the street beggars in particular is not just to sanitize the city streets of the Federal Capital Territory and enhance its standard and position in the global community. It's also to save their lives and make them realize the potential in them, which will not only promote their own living standard, but to add value to the life of the society.
Like these ones now beggars be all these ones for this place. So. This one's for television, so now beggars be this.
This one is a mentally challenged person.
So if you catch them like this, not these mentally challenged people, we now carry them go psychiatric hospital, or we now carry them go give experts, we go check whether they're really mentally challenged. Also, I know say some of them too go still pretend say they mentally challenged, like how they call Clifford Oji for Lagos that time.
Yeah.
You understand? So when I catch them like this, what do they do with them?
Whenever we evacuate them from the city street, the first thing we do is profiling.
Okay.
In the course of that profiling, we do assess their condition, mentally, physically as well. Like the man that you saw, who's a mentally challenged,
okay,
we met him with blood all over his body. He sustained serious injury, and yet he's equally mentally challenged.
Okay.
The first thing we did was to take him to the hospital.
Okay.
After treating his physical, wounds or what have you, we assess his situation, that is his mental status. There are some that their mental status doesn't need to be taken to psychiatric hospital. It's a mere depression that can be treated through psychosocial therapy. And there are some that their condition has reached a level that you must take them to psychiatric hospitals. Okay. There are two different treatment in these two centers. Social welfare services, we do provide psychosocial therapy to people with certain depression, some mental challenges that are due to some social, interaction of their lives. Just like issue within the family, depression, frustration can lead someone to, say when an individual experience what? Injustice, his mind will become imbalance.
Yeah.
That is normal. Until he attains that justice before he became normal. So such kind of people will subject them to psychosocial therapy. Doesn't need any drugs. And it takes time. Sometimes if you are pretty lucky, the condition did not reach that acute level. It won't take time. The person will be made to rediscover him or herself.
So when he rediscover himself, now he can't do normal at least to some extent.
Yeah.
Waiting on now for welfare department now do now take her back to a family, or what you now do with the person now put her for work, or what you now they do now what you won't know that for.
You cannot put somebody to learn certain skill whatever out of interest. He must be interested in. The first thing we did is after we help that individual to discover him or herself. Through that's why we will now run his own profiling to get proper information about himself, his family. If he has one, the next thing we do is to unite him with his own family.
Okay.
It is now left for the family to decide what. Because our center is not an asylum, it's not a dumping ground.
Okay, now what you want to be that? No, what you want to?
No, we don't.
What of like those people, those street beggars now that they catch? So na place no be asylum, no be destitute, they keep destitute. We want to catch the beggars.
When we remove them from the city streets, we take them to our holding ground, FCT, Vocational Rehabilitation Center, that has dual purposes. Profiling, assessing their situation, those that are interested to embrace skill acquisition program with economic value out of their interest, we subject it to free of charge. It's government. And those that are not interested, we repatriate them to their home states. And those whom family are close by, they will be there, we unite them. That is the essence.
The last time when you come here, you invite us come your office, one school for Jabi. Say that they do, the girls, the boys and girls, they do lesson for NECO and other things. Make I first of all play the report of when I see that report, it's sweet people cannot say in the beginning we've been there. When they start that thing, when they write they do the training, they teach them different teachers they come, they teach the girls and the boys how to answer questions, how to answer mathematics, English. Of course, it's so that they do registration for NECO. Make I let like my country when I see the progress of that our first report will be carry come that time where they say the young girls and the young boys say FCT Minister for State now carry them gather here, make them they learn the subject so they won't write for NECO and WAEC. So anybody will pass for the mock, then go register them for the NECO. When we watch the follow-up of that our interview, when we come back the program, what did happen? Go still continue.
They're making effort at registering students for free for the upcoming West African Examination Council WAEC and National Examination Council exams NECO.
The students out there, most of them are children of the indigent families that cannot afford to pay for examination fees for their children to be able to sit for either NECO, WAEC, or NAFTEF. In line with President Muhammadu Buhari 13 mandate for the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA decided to roll out this program to support the children of the indigent families, including repentant young ladies that choose to mortgage their body to get money for their livelihood, who abandon school halfway, that we are not able to complete their secondary school education because of poverty.
The Director of Social Welfare Department, Dr. SANI Rabe, and the Coordinator of the Capturing Process, Dr. Ben Owundijo, speaks about this initiative.
Mr. President has given instructions that no student, nobody in FCT and beyond, should miss going to school for any reasons whatsoever. So all the students are going to be paid for.
The students say they are grateful to the government.
I just want to say a big thank you for everything and then promise to do our possible best.
Okay, I want to use this privilege and thank the government for enabling us to come back to school again.
Some people are finished with their secondary school, but they weren't able to write the exams and stuff. So I think it's a very good thing. It's a very good opportunity.
Education, they say, is the key to success, but nothing beats quality education, and education that the common man can afford. This is a laudable initiative by the federal government, as you can hear from those who benefited from this. A lot of young ones standing here today are able to smile again because of this initiative. Reporting from the Social Welfare Department of the FCT administration, Joy Igochi.
My country people, now the people will be saying, man, their papa not get money to pay school fees for them. Be that. We be say FCT Minister for State. We dey under FCT Minister. Now she collabo with SDS Department. We call say Welfare Department. Man, the network long go. The Minister to Minister for State to SDS to Welfare Department. Now they do. Una try. Waiting be how una take they choose this children we be say they not get man. A person we open mouth tell una or una check the person profile and the background before una fit assist.
Well, we started the program. It was last year, 2022. We started it, and the first batch of those beneficiaries, they wrote their work in November, December. The way we started was we advocate and sensitize those young ladies, emotional caregivers, that they call it consciousness workers or otherwise. We, in the sensitization, we made them to understand, and some of them convinced us that they left school halfway because of poverty, and thought that showed interest to go back to school. We now roll that program.
Okay.
That is step one. Our target initially was 500. The first enrollment, we had over 2,000 that responded.
For FCT alone?
Of course, yes. And there, some parents that are indigent, that couldn't pay school fees for their children due to, financial, problems, reach out to us. And then we look at, it's part of the mandate of the FCT administration. So the only thing is to what? Join it together and carry that out. So the children of this, indigent families came on board. Many of them, including those emotional caregivers, they left school for quite a long time. Yeah. So the first thing we do, we organize that tutorial. So through an NGO, this COVID Education Network, we were able to get volunteer teachers, most of whom come from University of Nigeria in Square alumni. The first batch we had about 50 volunteer teachers, including some police officers that have the passion and show interest and generous. In fact, there is one professor, Marcel, he's based in UK. When he came to Nigeria, I noticed the man joined us immediately. So now this year, the second batch just finished registering for those qualified to write this coming WAEC, February. What we do after that tutorial, before we allow you to register, we conducted a kind of mock exam, as if they are writing another WAEC, the pre-WAEC exams, in order to screen those that are qualified to write, because not just for writing's sake. And we made them to understand this is government. FCTA doesn't allow, permit, or condone any examination malpractices. Therefore, you have to study harder. The only thing you can do, pay back to government, study harder and write very well, and do what? Get the required credit for you to proceed further.
But if they can't pass, person can't write, can't read well, can't pass well, you know, can't get money, can't go university.
Thank you. Well, there are three things. One, FCT has scholarship board.
Okay.
And it's meant not for everybody. Like the children of the well-to-do.
Okay.
They don't even have time to go for public school. They'll be paying for their children to go abroad and what have you. But children for the not just indigent but indigent families resident in the FCT.
As long as you're the resident for FCT.
Yes, resident, and then you have all the required credential. That is step one. Two, this Nile University is a private university. They came on board and they made it clear. They offered a scholarship to these children and made it anybody who performed to this level will get 100% scholarship. If you do the level, you have 50% scholarship to study in Nile University.
Private university?
Yes. This African University of Science and Technology that is located around Galadima. The Vice Chancellor himself came to the school, came to our center, Daja Primary School, and addressed these children. He made it clear to them that yes, if you perform to this level, you got a scholarship, it's an offer. So you see, if you did not build on this miracle center or whatever, you are able to do it yourself, this is what you will get. You can see it. So the better they do, the better they get.
So if person now can't do that thing, okay, some will not get the kind to say God created everybody different. So people brain not too sharp like that with a figure scholarship. And the ones who not can get scholarship and they can't write the wire, he pass but not to pass. And they can say, okay, me I don't want to go higher institution. I want to learn handwork or like tailoring or carpentry or welder or anything where they want to do. Welfare department, and I get something like that for
of course
people too.
Not only for those that have this basic Western education qualification, even the almajiris that are carrying their pants, plates, going around begging, because begging is banned in the FCT. Presently, I can boldly tell you that about 7 Islamia schools benefited from this our skills training with economic values.
But the almajiri is still plenty. There's still plenty.
Yes, they are very plenty. It's overwhelming. One thing I would like our Nigerians to understand, in government business, everything is tied to budgetary provision. Once overstretched, that's not much the government can do, but rather to seek support from multinational organizations that are based in Abuja,
from individuals,
philanthropists, individuals, you know. This second batch, there's one organization in the FCT, I will not mention the name due to administrative error. They have sponsored about 28 among this beneficiary of this social welfare educational empowerment scheme. They paid for 28. This is the kind of support we want from the government and individuals,
so
all organizations.
So as now the government, when they work on that government, when I still get challenges when they face.
Of course,
like
various challenges. One of the challenges, due to this insecurity in the neighboring state and poverty in other neighboring countries, our facilities and budgetary provision overstretched. Believe me, what we have, what government is able to allocate to budget. Had it been we don't have such problem, we can handle it 100%. But now, with this influx, believe you, in an ideal situation, the budgetary provision cannot cover first quarter of the year. Overstretch, I mean. This
so
is
how on account they fund most of this project when the budget they overstretched? Like the last time when I did they go over about 2,000 pupils we can register, and if the budget not reach, and I don't already gather these children together, how on account they meet their needs?
Well, fortunately, at this thousands plus, currently we have about, in our enrollment we have about 3,000 presently. Fortunately, most of them abandoned school for long. And then during that mock exam, you discover that very few that were able to qualify to write it pretty well. Those who failed to meet up, the tutorial continued. The program is ongoing. You understand? The program is ongoing. This is the social services of the FCTA. It's ongoing program, not limited to first or second batch. So anybody who's not able to meet up for this batch will continue studying. We may be lucky next batch. If he put in his best or her best, he'll be able to pass and get, enrolled.
Dr. SANI, AMAR, anytime they come here, when they live here, they always touch me because they can't work on that they do. Even God for heaven, they like her. You understand? We could not deceive ourselves. We need to love one another. Jesus said love, now be the ultimate thing. We will be Christian. I think they talk now, we follow. love your neighbor. Your neighbor dey hungry, you give am food. Your neighbor no get cloth, you give am cloth. And I welfare department, and they do. Wetin go be your advice, because time not there our side, we need to pack our kayak move for studio now. How may you talk to Nigerians?
Well,
because some people don't know say almajiri na bad business. So people they see am as good business.
Yeah, well,
so people feel say those girls who they stand for nights na good business. Me I know say na bad, but you will be direct that your work be that. Talk to them for the language they go understand, so that make them know say when we dey talk here, we dey talk through.
Thank you. Well, this commercial sex hawking is dehumanizing and at the same time is equally dangerous. So I'm advising my fellow Nigerians to counsel and support their wards to keep away from such business. And support the government in providing this kind of services. If you come to FCD, Social Development Secretariat is secretariat that deal with the human component in terms of social well-being of the FCTA. We have 3 departments that offers such kind of services in synergy. The secretariat has gender and child welfare department. We have youth development department, and then the almighty social welfare department that touch almost everywhere. Another thing that we intend to do, part of the program of this year, is psychosocial counseling, which we like multinational organizations, philanthropists, other government agencies to support it, because it has to do with our mental health. We would like to make the FCT resident to understand the importance and appreciate the importance of having a social worker for your family, just like a family doctor, because there are so many cases that do happen within the family, but either side is afraid to approach the other to complain,
and some don't even know who to talk to.
Who to talk to, how to talk to. We have so many cases where teenagers commit suicide, wives, husband commit suicide for a reason that ordinarily will not reach to that level. But having a social counselor in your family, he will help you out. Husband not getting satisfaction with his wife, if you tell her, she will call him names that you are patronizing, prostitute, blah blah. That's why you get to know this. I'm not one. Or the woman to approach her husband, vice versa. You call her names. Yeah, prostitute. Where do you learn all this, and so on and so forth. The children, the way a manner parent do act, do behave, it affects their parenting role. It affects it. So I would like FCT residents to please appreciate that. At the same time, to stop giving arms to street beggars. They don't know the dangers associated to that.
Okay, thank you very, very much. My country people, I don't see, and so this program, I tell you now, we dey learn different things here. But we go pack our kayak come up for here now, make Dr. SANI, AMAR, make it go continue work what they do. And then they catch beggars for street. And then they catch all those people for night. Now then be this. But we don't catch them today. Move free them, make it go. Doctor, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Ekanem. My name is Ekanem, and I'll come here tomorrow again, 1:30 in the afternoon. Make we come talk this country into shape. Tomorrow we will call people from Calabar, from Benin, and from Lagos. And then go call us, tell us what they happen for their area as concerning this PVC collection. It is very, very important. Anything they do, make you do well, because so you not get for mine, still they get you for mine. Bye bye for now.